need to do the rest of the lab, okay? So for the rest of the lab on the back, once you've got your temperature of your ice water that you made your ice cream in, you want to use this top equation to solve for M. So if you rearrange this, M is going to equal delta T FB, and that's just going to be your freezing point, change the sign, divided by KF times I. Now KF is the 1.86 degrees Celsius per molal, and the I is going to be 2 because we did salt. Okay? Then it asks you, after you find the molality, to find the new boiling point. To find the new boiling point, you're going to take and plug in, the KB for boiling is 0.52 for water. Whatever your, I'm going to just change this right here, whatever your molality is what you're going to throw in right there. And you're going to times it by 2. Whatever you got for an answer is going to go here. That's not your final answer. You got to add 100 to it because the beginning point, boiling point of water was 100. So you're going to add 100 to it, and this right here is going to be your final answer. So it should be 100 and something or 100 point something. Okay? Now, with the rest of this, you should have finished pre-lab before this. And if you went through pre-lab correctly, you should have been able to find the molality of the solution that you did in lab. Now, we did change that from 2 grams to 10 grams. So if you're, I'm going to pull hers over. If you are looking at after you did number 5, that was a molar mass. Number 6, you're going to take 10 grams, and you're going to divide it by your molar mass to get the number of moles. Then on number 7, you're going to take that 300 grams and change it into kilograms. So you're going to divide it by 1,000. Once you got those 2 answers, you're just going to take number 6's answer divided by number 7, and that's number 8's answer, which is your molality. Okay? Now, if we assume 300. We didn't actually do 300, so when we get to the analysis in part 2, we're going to figure out what we actually did. Now, remember that there is a grid of a data table. We're going to put that up in just a minute. And we need your team's information. We need your chemical formula. We need your freezing point of your solution. We need your molality. That's the moles of solute divided by kilograms of solvent. We need to know the hazards of your salt that you researched. They're on your phone or whatever. And we need to know the cost. The cost needs to be how much does it cost per some mass. It could be per ton. It could be per pound. It could be per 500 grams. Whatever, but you need to tell us that. Okay, I'm going to put that up at the end of this review section, and so all of us can write it down. I'm recording it right now, so it'll also be up on the blog, so if you don't get it all written down, you can go up to the blog and get it, okay? All right, so what I'd like to do right now, while you're eating your ice cream, is go back to any problems on any of the assignments that you want to go through, because remember, there's going to be a problem, like all the ones we've done last several days, on the test. And the test is next time. Yeah. So let's go through any ones you have problems with. You can. Okay, number 10. Go ahead and read it to me. Okay, so Roman numeral 4 means plus 4. And oxide is oxygen. It has a -2. These have to add to equal 0, so I need 2 of those, right? Okay. Okay. Okay, so if I remember, molarity is equal to moles of solute divided by liters of solution. Well, I have over there liters, and I have molarity. Those are the 2 things I have, right? So I need to find moles. Once I find moles, then I can find grams. So let's rearrange this. Moles are going to equal molarity times liters. 5.6 liters times 2.10 molarity. So I'm going to times those through, and I'm going to get moles. Okay? While somebody's doing that, I also need to add up the mass of manganese and oxygen. And I don't have manganese memorized. Anybody got it? See, it's in the D, so it's 54.39, is that an 8? 8. Okay, what do I get for the mass and what do I get for the moles? 11.76 moles. Okay, somebody do the mass.
Mass is
86.396. That's how many grams are in 1 mole. So over here, I now have moles. I'm going to use our dimensional analysis. 1 mole on the bottom, manganese oxide, and on the top, I'm going to put the mass. I can cross out moles of manganese oxide, and I just times through, and I've got my answer. Okay, I have 2 significant figures, so I should only report 2 significant figures. Okay, any others that you'd like to go through? Colligative properties. Number what? Number 1? Number 1 is just writing the equation. And that equation basically is the same for number 1 and number 2. The only difference is for freezing point, you put FP and F. For boiling point, you put BP and B. The delta T is the change in temperature. The K is a constant for either freezing point or boiling point. The little m, italicized, is molality. And the I is how many parts will it break into. Okay? Any other questions? Number 3 and 4? 3 and 4 basically talk about the 4 colligative properties. Who can tell me what the 4 colligative properties are? Nobody knows the 4 colligative properties. We did one just now to make ice cream. Okay. Freezing, it should be freezing point depression. Make sure you change that in your notes. That was a mistake. Okay, so freezing point depression, that's what we use to make the ice cream. Boiling point elevation, osmosis is possible, and vapor pressure lowering. Anytime I add a solute to a solvent, those 4 things happen to the solution. So the original solvent's freezing point gets lowered. The original solvent's boiling point gets raised. The vapor pressure gets lowered. And osmotic pressure is now possible, or osmosis is now possible. So on those questions 3 and 4, you're just answering what's going to happen. Well, remember your 4 colligative properties, and what does it tell you is going to happen? So if I add anything to a solvent, it's going to do those 4 things. So that's all you're doing in 3 and 4. And then when you got to 5, you start plugging into this equation. When you get to the back side, you're going to have to find this before you do any of the others. Remember, this is moles of solute divided by kilograms of solvent. So it's a little bit different, and that is molality. Okay. Anything else you want to go over? Five and 6 is just plugging in. Just plugging in. Yeah, we can do one. Which one do you want to do? 6? Okay, read number 6 to me.
What is the change in freezing point per sticker water of a 0.78 mole solution of NaCl in water? The picture water is 1.86 degrees Celsius.
And I for this would be 2. And just a reminder, that way we got I, if they don't give it to you, is because this splits up into 2 parts, because it's an ionic compound, right? All right, so we have everything. All we have to do is plug into the equation. KF is 1.86. Molality. And I. That's all you have to do. That gives you the change in freezing point. If I want the actual freezing point, I just go 0 because water freezes at 0 minus whatever this was. So basically it just becomes a minus whatever that was. And don't forget to dress your units. It'll be degrees Celsius. Okay. Nope. Nope, it should be fairly easy. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the grid that we need to fill out for the lab on the board here. And I want you to fill out your part of this grid. You need to research all of it. I'm going to actually pause the video right now so that when we get all this stuff up, we can put it up. If you have extra questions when you're done with that, then we can answer the questions. Don't forget your conclusion. There's just a little teeny place for conclusion, but it needs to be at least 3 sentences on your lab. So if you need more space, then you can try and figure out some more space in another area. Okay? All right, so here we go. I'm going to pause this. If you record this for a little bit, I'm turning it on right now. Bell's just rung. We've got all the information up. It's going to be on the blog.
Loud crying.
So pause this because I'm going to turn this video off so you can get the information you need. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Get ready for a quiz test next time. Don't forget your phase diagrams and your heat curves. Make sure you know how to do those. And you're going to need to do some calculations. So anything that we've done on molarity, molality, or freezing point depression colligative properties is fair game for the multiple choice and the written. There's only basically three formulas. You feel like there's 20. Okay.